Good morning, everyone. I want to ask you a question. Do you live a life that looks like peace? And the idea of peace being bestowed on us is such a difficult thing. But if you talk to a Jewish person, a person who is Jewish and goes to a temple and a shul and to a synagogue and that, and you talk to them about peace, their outlook on it or their look on it or their take on it is a little different to yours. And it's just a very subtle difference, but it's there. And you must remember they have teachings from word to mouth. They read the scriptures, the old scriptures, and so they have this very old world understanding of what peace is, and they call it shalom. And there's this whole thing around living in shalom, whether you are whatever you're doing to living in shalom, in peace. And John 14 verse 27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, nor let it be fearful." And God has been talking to me a little bit about mental health. So I've in the past struggled. Every now and then I still feel the anxiety rise, and I've in the past struggled a little bit, not to the extent that some people do. And I have a lot of respect and empathy for people who struggle with severe depression. And God showed me that there's this struggle threatening to rear its head in some places again. And people that have thought maybe they've actually thought that they've overcome and they have conquered this thing. And now something has happened and it's triggered like an episode or just a feeling of sort of sinking into the depths of depression again and fear and anxiety. And it's such a hard place to be because in the beginning it's a very comfortable place because you just kind of shut out the world and you need to kind of keep the world at bay just so that you can cope. And but then you realize, oh, no, this is not looking like, but it's very subtle. The change is so subtle that when you figure out what's happening, it's almost you feel too late. It's not, but you feel maybe this is now too late. And I want to encourage you that this is very real and very normal. For those of you who've never ever struggled with depression and that, and all of a sudden something has come and it's overwhelmed you, and you're normally a person that can actually deal with it. And you might find that you're not a person, you can't deal with it right now. Verses like these will keep you going. Find those ones in the Bible that are for you. Verses on joy and peace. Because the lack of peace, the lack of the understanding of what God is to you. So go and find verses on His strength. If you have to Google it, Bible verses on God's strength in my life, Bible verses against fear, Bible verses, Google them, they're there. And then start reading the passages around it. And within that space, so when I was struggling with it, I went for therapy and everything, and it didn't quite work for me. I didn't get on with my therapist. It doesn't help. But it didn't quite work for me. What I needed to do was get closer to God. So I went for prayer. I was fortunate. I had these all like a army of people that loved me around me, and everybody had a little thing that they could do. And sometimes you just find yourself in a space that your life is changing, your spiritual life is changing, and now then some people say it's your hormones, especially if you're a lady that reaches a certain age, it's always blamed on your hormones, and you're like, people can't all be the hormones. And some people just say you must get over yourself. You are now thinking that you haven't achieved anything, but sometimes your prayer life and your work life and your physical life is going through a metamorphosis. There's a change. And that's life. It's supposed to change. But sometimes you don't understand in your inner being what that change is, and then you worry. You're like, oh, is it, what's happening? Have I gone mad? You know? And it's not that you're going mad or that you've done the wrong thing or anything like that. It's that your life is changing, and that's okay. I love my friend Robin because she's always, and that's okay. She makes me feel fabulous. So I'm just going to read this to you again. And sometimes you just got to take a Bible verse at face value and make it your own and kind of plant it in your heart and sometimes in your head. John 14, verse 27 says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, nor let it be fearful." It's a choice. Do not let it be. And He's given us the peace. We don't have to earn it. Nothing. It's ours. We can take it. There's nothing that we can do to make it better because it's complete and it's whole and it's His peace. Have a peaceful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.